Hi, I am Renu and this is Opinionated. Today, Anu and I are going to be talking about aging gracefully. You know what Jamieleecurtis says about this? She says just take anti-aging out of the vocabulary. She says it's all about aging with grace, with dignity, with poise, with verve, with energy. In fact, WHO recently published that people who have so much of negative attitude towards aging, they find it difficult to come out of morbidity and they live 7.5 years less than a person who's positive about aging. In fact, Mark Twain, he has gone on record saying that wrinkles are where the smiles used to be. So it's all about looking and feeling good. So what are we going to be sharing, Anu, today?
Well, I was thinking if we could share what we think helps us deal with aging gracefully, it might help somebody out there. So, you go first.
Okay. So I think, Anu, that is very important to do your exercise, to eat right, a lot of water, a lot of fruits, to get your at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep, to rest a lot, to relax, to have mental relaxation in the form of gardening or whatever passion you like. And I think the biggest accessory that one needs to have is self-confidence as you age.
Yeah, but it's not just self-confidence, right? Because life is not always about incidents that inspire confidence in yourself. There are a lot of times that you are shaken. And that's when your sense of humor is a big, big superpower. You know what they say, right? There are lots of things in life that will happen, including the changes in your body. If you don't learn to laugh about it, you will cry about it.
Make sound decisions. And in case you feel that you've not made sensible decisions in the past and you're feeling bad and you're regretting about it, just forgive yourself.
I'd like to add to this. You know, many of the times when you make decisions on the basis of the information that is available to you. I've mentioned this in the past. There is a principle of economics called ceteris paribus, all things remaining equal. Ask yourself this question, all things remaining equal, if I had the same information that I had at that point, would I make those same decisions again? The answer will always be yes. The reason you think that the decision is wrong or mistaken is because you've got additional information now that you didn't have then. So, not only do you have to be graceful and forgive yourself for the decisions that you took in the past that were not so right, I think you must be smart enough to make new mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes again.
I think one should be authentic, one should accept themselves for who they are, and one should be very proud of yourself. Because I think at the end of the day, it's all about self-confidence. So be very selfish when it comes to self-confidence and when it comes to pursuing happiness.
I'm really glad you mentioned that about being selfish and pursuing happiness, because a lot of times it is ingrained in our culture that being a martyr is a big thing. Sacrificing your happiness for someone else is really noble. Let me tell you, nobility, I think, is highly overvalued. Sometimes you have to be selfish, you have to take care of yourself, because think about this, unless you take care of yourself, you will not be able to take care of others. Then what are you going to do? You're actually letting others down by letting yourself down. So take good care of yourself, focus on what makes you happy, and remember, happiness is not in the large things, happiness is in the small things.
I think another very important aspect is to choose your attitude, especially when you're having a bad day. You know that your day is not going too well, and it's actually up to you to react to that. It's up to your own individuality. And I think you should have the ability to choose your attitude and say, no matter how bad my day is, I'm going to make it right for living it the right way by just changing my attitude and being positive about it.
Yeah, but I'd like to add to this, the mistake that we make when we look at our day when it's going wrong, it's not that we've had a bad day. We've had 5 minutes of the day that was bad. The rest of the day was good. Right? So we need to remember when things are going wrong, other things are going right. And this bad portion was only a portion of our day and not our entire day.
And sometimes we ask ourselves the toughest of questions, which is, what is the purpose of life? Forget purpose of life. Let's find out what is my purpose. And how do I determine my purpose? For me, my purpose is something that makes me happy. And if I were to take my example, making a positive impact by being present on social media is something that is a purpose for me. So when I have something that I do which is purposeful and I feel is making a positive impact and helping other people, it makes me feel good about me. And as I grow older, I'm gathering all my learnings that I have gathered in my past and sharing it, and hoping that by sharing what I have learned, it might help somebody else out there, and maybe they will learn new things and be able to pass on more knowledge.
And to add on to that, Anu, I also have interacted with people who have crossed 9. Someone called General Anand Swarup in Dehradun, and you must see he's 92 and he still doesn't use a walking stick. And it's all about helping yourself, standing with dignity, not depending on anybody. And I think that becomes a purpose, that I should live my life at that particular point of time, not depending on anyone, and in fact being a helper, being an inspiration, or trying to reach out and make a difference in some other person's life. I think it all depends on which stage you are in at that point of time.
And what your individual capabilities are. Because if I am struck down by stroke when I'm 75, I'm not going to be able to stand up on my own. I have to accept it. And that acceptance, the grace with which you accept the cards that you're dealt, I think is something very, very important as we age.
Cheerfully. And I think also we should surround ourselves with people who have that kind of similar positive vibe, right? I mean, no matter how much you give love, and if you don't receive it, or if you're not feeling good about it at the end of the day, it's always nice to not be exposed repeatedly, because I think it's good to surround yourself with like-minded, the vibes, the positive vibes.
Yeah, Harvard did a study, one of the longest running study, and they followed people and they've come to this conclusion, which all of us knew, by the way, that a healthy, happy life is equal to the quality of your relationships. The more nourishing your relationships are, the better your quality of life is. And as we grow older, this becomes more and more important.
Relevant and important and necessary.
Yeah.
I love the way Maya Angelou, people forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
They will always remember. That's true. So these are all just some of the principles and philosophies that guide us. And you must be thinking, why these philosophies? But these are the philosophies that will help you go through this journey that is life with grace and dignity, which means even as you age, you do it gracefully, right? And I'm sure many of you have similar thoughts that you would like to share. Please do share it with us, because I'm sure what you share will help someone who resonates with you, your way of life, and of course, your way of aging. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.